everyone, I hope you're doing well and having a wonderful day. I'm here to do an intuitive card reading for anyone who's feeling a little bit stuck, a little bit hopeless, times are a little bit tough, to see what insights, guidance, and messages the universe has for you. So let's take a look at the cards. Okay. So we have Jade, take action. And sometimes we can feel stuck and hopeless and all of that because we're overthinking things. And, it can lead to analysis paralysis. And, we can be like, oh, well, I don't know what the right way to go is. There's so many different options. But the thing is, sometimes we just need to act. Not recklessly, but sometimes we just need to start moving our feet, to start taking steps forward, to, start building our momentum. And there are plenty of times where it doesn't really matter how we start. We just need to start because our minds can be our greatest ally or our worst enemy, because it can come up with all these different reasons of how, oh, it's not going to work out, we don't have the right things, all the, oh, well, other people are better than me, I don't have the right skill set, I don't have the right resources, now it's not the right time, I'll wait till things get better. The thing is, there'll never be a perfect time. There'll always be at least one thing that's not to our preference, that we feel like could be better or whatever, that needs to be changed. So don't let yourself get stuck due to inaction. Maybe you can take action by taking a walk to clear your head, or journaling, or meditation, or just getting out and being with loved ones and friends and having fun. Just do something to start getting the energy moving, because it feels like the energy is very stagnant, and that could just be because you have just been very inactive and overthinking things. And with emotions, they can be a lot, but the whole thing is it's energy, emotion. So why don't you start moving your body, start taking action to get it moving again? And maybe you need to get out into nature more. Be with the trees, be with the plants, be with all the animals that are out right now. Or maybe, hang out with your pet. Just take action. Do something. Even if it's, just doing something to make you laugh, to bring a smile to your face, just get moving and get the momentum building. Because we can come up with all sorts of reasons of why we shouldn't do things, or why it's not the best time to do things, but that doesn't mean that it's actually true, because that could be actually coming from a place of fear, of doubt, of stress. And the thing with fear is it's false evidence appearing real. So the mind can play tricks on us and talk us out of things when it's actually would be in our best interest to go for it. Okay, so you might be feeling stuck and hopeless and all that because of money. You could be getting very caught up in mentalities of lack. Be like, oh, it costs too much money to do this, I don't have enough money, getting more money would be hard, I'm already working so much. So you might need to shift your mindset, and that could be literally about money, about how you can get money, but also you may need to shift your mindset about what it actually requires. Like, let's say you were thinking about starting a YouTube channel, and you're like, well, I don't have all the fancy equipment, I don't have the fancy setup. Just get started with what you have now. Odds are you have a smartphone. Maybe you can get a small little tripod if you don't have that, but you can get started right here and now. And as you're building, you can get more and more things that you might need, like a fancier setup, fancier equipment, whatever it is. But you can get started now. You don't need all the fancy things. Sure, the fancy things are nice, but if, it's not lining up with resources and money and all that, just get started with what you have. There's nothing wrong with getting started with what you have. You can learn as you go. It's okay. And also realize that the words you speak, the beliefs you think, they matter. They have power. You can speak things into existence. And so you need to be aware and mindful, intentional, and purposeful with what you are using in terms of words, because they become your reality. I know with my family, they're always like, oh, I'll see it when or they say, I'll believe it when I see it. But the thing is, you will see it when you believe it, because think about placebos. People believe that they will work, and so they work. It's the power of belief. And so keep in mind that your beliefs, your words, they hold a lot of power. They will create your reality. They will bring more of that into your reality, because where you spend your time, energy, and attention will grow. It will build momentum. More of it will come into your life. So shift your mindset and start thinking about what's possible instead of what's not possible. Thinking about what you want rather than what you don't want. Because the universe will bring you more of what you think about, of what you talk about, of what you believe. So just be really intentional and mindful with what you are speaking into the existence, what you're thinking about. Yeah. To truly flourish is to release all the tension that holds me back from letting love pour through me. Yeah, like that's the thing. In order to flourish, we need to let go of all the things that are holding us back, which a lot of times it's our own mind holding us back. We can be our own worst enemy, and we can be thinking about all these, worst case scenarios, believing that we're not good enough, that all these other people are better, we have nothing to offer. We can get into the whole fear, stress, anxiety, worry, doubt trap. And that's the thing. We need to release it. We need to let go. Yes, be mindful of things. Yes, be aware. Don't just do things blindly and, because we can shoot ourselves in the foot by recklessly making actions in a way that's not helpful or healthy for us. If we're trusting the wrong people, even though we're getting all these warning signs like, hey, they might not actually be the best person, or we're getting bad vibes about a place or a situation, we can listen to that, not to just, blindly go into things, but we don't need to subscribe to all the fear, the doubt, and the worry. We don't need to speak ill upon ourselves and others, because there are plenty of people out there who put word curses on themselves and others without realizing it. They'll always be expecting the worst and be like, oh, this is going to happen to you. And it's not even coming from a place of picking up on the actual energy. It's just buying into the fear and pessimism and all of that. With my family, they'll actively expect the worst because they're oh, if I expect the worst, then I won't be disappointed. It's but you're putting all this negative energy onto yourself and others, and the outcome, yes, be mindful, yes, be aware that things don't always work out the way we intend, but that doesn't mean we have to be putting all this negative energy out there. We can let that go. Yeah. I show up for myself and the world. And that's the thing. So many people don't show up for themselves or the world, and they hold themselves back. They play small. They settle for less. They keep quiet. They just crunch up in this tiny little ball and are afraid to speak up or do anything. And they will, people please, and they'll say things they don't mean and agree to things they don't mean and be doing all these things, and they're not actually showing up as their authentic self. They're not actually living. And so show up for yourself. What is it that you want? What is it that you need? What are your true colors? How do you really feel about things? Because it's important that we are real, that we're genuine, that we're not pretending to be something we're not. And a lot of times we can feel so hopeless and stuck is because we've fallen into that trap of trying to conform and be someone we are not. We will live other people's lives because they tell us what we should be doing. We don't want to upset other people, so it's like, okay, I'll do what you want, mom and dad. Okay, I'll do what you want, boss. Okay, I'll do what you want, peers and coworkers and friends, even if that's not what you want. Even if it feels like it's killing you on the inside, because you are doing things that are disingenuous to yourself. So show up. Let go of what you are not and show up for yourself. Be true. Yeah, and obsessing over the outcome of a relationship gets in the way. Instead, I let go and allow. We need to stop obsessing. We need to stop being so rigid and trying to force things and control things. The only thing we can control is how we choose to show up in the world and the narratives we choose to tell ourselves. We cannot control other people. We cannot control things like, traffic and the weather. We can't control that. We can't control how we choose to perceive it. If there's traffic, find a way to make it a little more enjoyable. You don't have to love that there's traffic, but try to make the most of the situation and let go of what we cannot control. Allow things to be. If there are people who are mistreating you and, being disrespectful and rude and unkind and disingenuous, you can choose to walk away. You can choose to associate with other people. You cannot control other people and the external factors. So obsessing over it, trying to force it, trying to control it, trying to coerce it, it's not going to do you any good. It's just going to rob you of your peace and happiness. So let go and allow and just focus on yourself and what you can do. Yeah. Play. May you seek out fun and connection. That's the thing. So many of us have lost touch with our true selves. We've lost a connection with fun and lightheartedness and play and genuine connection with other people. We're all going through the motions, going on autopilot, and we're not actually connecting with one another because a lot of us are pretending, we're conforming, we're trying to fit a mold that isn't us. So it's time to be more authentic and make those deeper, sincere connections and have fun and play and find ways to be a little more carefree and lighthearted and just bring more joy into life. Because, if we're always pretending to be someone we're not and we're not real with anyone, of course we're going to feel stuck and hopeless. That's such a miserable way to live. But if we can bring more play in, if we can have more fun, it's going to make a world of a difference. Yeah. Reveal. May openness lead you to connection. Reveal your true colors. Be more open. Be more honest. That doesn't mean, you're opening up and trusting the wrong people if there are obvious signs where they're going to be, disrespectful, unkind, use you, all these things, You don't want to have those connections to those types of people, but if you want to have those genuine connections, you got to open up and be real. You can't always be hiding. You can't always be pretending and faking, because that's no way to make those authentic, genuine, deep connections. And you need to have more openness. If you close off your heart and your mind to the possibilities, to the potential, you're never going to reach it. You're denying yourself. So have some more openness. Trust the process, trust the universe, and feel out the energy, because the energy doesn't lie. If something doesn't feel right, listen and act accordingly. But if something does feel right, even if you can't explain it, even if there's no logical explanation and you can't figure it out, trust and see where it leads you. Because that's how a lot of beautiful connections can happen and all these blessings. Yeah. Free. May your soul sing freely. So many of us lock up our true selves and we don't allow ourselves to freely be. We don't allow ourselves to tap into the truth of our soul, to shine our true colors, to sing, to just exist and be okay with being ourselves. We have to always pretend to be something we're not, and we have to, make sure we color within the lines. We can't step out of line because, think about the consequences. This, our peers may not like it. Our friends may, judge us. Like, okay. So if you just, like saying having fun and, being silly and all that is going to have your friends judge you, maybe you need new friends. Because there are people out there who would accept you and love you and enjoy you for who you truly are. But if all the space is being taken up by the people who aren't a good fit for you, how are they going to come in? There's no room for them. So find ways to free yourself more. Yeah, and also have more kindness and compassion for yourself. Be gentle. May you tend to the suffering, whether that be the suffering of others or yourself. Because if you're feeling hopeless and stuck and miserable, you have a lot of suffering going on. You're not being your true self, most likely. You're holding yourself back. You're living a lie. So show yourself more compassion. Be gentle with yourself. Try to work things out. And yeah, it may take some time, but slowly figure things out. Journal, meditate, do whatever it is you need to be kinder, gentler, and more loving to yourself. Show yourself compassion. It's going to be okay. It may take some time to figure it out, but it'll work out. Trust the process. Yeah. Keep your heart open. Keep your heart open, because good things can come, but it will be a lot harder for the blessings to come in, those genuine connections to come in, to be able to live your true dream life if your heart is closed off, if you're walling yourself off from the world, if you're being all closed and rigid. You got to open up and let the love in. Right? Know your worth. Know you are worthy. Know that you deserve good things and that you deserve a life that you actually enjoy. Yeah, there'll probably still be times where it's challenging and it could be a little painful and it's not to your preference, but overall, you should be able to enjoy life. And you don't need to, go through all these hoops and have to, prove yourself, and you have to be super successful and you have to have all these boxes checked to deserve a life that you enjoy. It's like, no. You enjoy it now. It could require some work for certain things to, happen, but you are worthy as you are. You deserve love. You deserve kindness. You deserve respect. You deserve peace. You deserve fun. So allow yourself to have more of that. Know that you deserve it. Know that you are worthy. You don't have to be a superhero. You don't have to be like a world leader in order to get everything you want. It's just like, and sometimes what we want is not actually what we need, and so that can be tricky. But know that you are worthy of these essential components of life, of love, of kindness, of peace. You don't have to, bend over backwards and appease all these other people to get things like love and respect and joy and fun. Like, you don't need to do that. Those people aren't the right people to have in your circle if that's what they need you to do. If they need you to always put them first and put yourself last, and then after everyone else is taken care of, that's when you can, relax. That's when you can enjoy your life. That's when you can have peace. That's when you can have fun. No, that's not how that works. And yes, there will be times where it's important to put other people first and to take care of them, but that doesn't mean you sacrifice yourself and make yourself miserable and neglect yourself. You are worthy. You need to fill up your own cup as well. Because if you're constantly pouring out and you just empty your cup, you have nothing left to give. You can't keep pouring. You have to fill up your own cup as well. Yes. Attune to the divine. That's the thing. So many of us are tuning into the external. We are tuning into what other people are telling us. And that's not to say that these other people have nothing to offer. They have no insight. They have no experience. They have no wisdom. But they're also humans with limited perspectives versus the divine, it knows a lot better. It knows all the components in play. It knows how to help you get where you want to go. Suki says hello. Hold on. But the divine knows. The divine loves you. The divine wants to protect you and guide you and nurture you. So if you can connect more with the divine, whether that be through journaling, reflecting, meditation, through church, through reading scripture, whatever it is, allow yourself to tune in to that versus the external world, which can be very, very chaotic. It can be so chaotic. And that doesn't mean the external world and all the people in it always mean ill will towards anybody, but the external world doesn't know everything. And, the divine, that's the all-knowing, that's the all-powerful. That's what you would want to connect to and, be more authentic with versus the external world, which can be a hot, hot mess, especially if you look around nowadays. So tune into the divine and see what happens. Because good things will come. There are many blessings coming. Yeah. The divine has an announcement for you, and it's to free yourself with authenticity, to show yourself more compassion and love, to be more open, and to allow to trust. Because when you try to force things, when you try to control things, it's going to blow up in your face. So be more relaxed with it. Allow, see what happens, be open, play, have fun. Enjoy life. Do things that light you up inside. Because that will bring you peace and harmony. You don't need to have things go so crazy. You don't need to be something you're not. You can come from the heart space. You can have love, deep affection, and caring, and the universe has that for you. But when you are coming from a sincere, authentic place, when you are playing more, when you're being more lighthearted and carefree and having fun, and you're showing yourself more compassion, you can connect with people who feel the same as you. They will be on your energy versus these people who are, faking as well. Because a lot of people will do that. And maybe you're feeling stuck and hopeless because people in your life, there's been misunderstandings, there's been rifts and all that, but reconciliation can come in. But it could also be a reconciliation with yourself, realizing that, you didn't understand and know what you know now, and so you can forgive yourself. You can be gentle with yourself and said, you did the best with what you knew then, but we're going to do better now because we know better. Or you can even have a reconciliation with the divine, because I know there can be times where so much grief and hardship can fall upon us, and we can feel like the universe, the divine, has forgotten us, has forsaken us, has abandoned us, has left us to suffer. But that's the thing, like the divine, the universe never leaves us. It's always trying to support us and guide us and nurture us. It always loves us. But sometimes we get so caught up in our perception of things that we do not see the lessons and blessings that can come in it. I know with me, I've dealt with a lot of toxic people. I've dealt with a number of narcissists, and it got really, really rough, and it was really hard and hurtful. And I felt very alone in it. But at the end of the day, when I was able to, get away from these people, I can realize, okay, it was very hard. It hurt a lot. There was grief. There was suffering. But now that I'm away from it, I am freer. I am happier. I am stronger. I have learned and grown so much. And those were not the right people, places, and situations for me. There's better out there for me. And so, it can suck when relationships fall apart, we get ejected from, jobs or whatever, but it's If it's not meant for us, it will not stick around. What is meant for us will remain. So know that it's okay. Everything's going to work out in the end. Yeah, this feels like protection from a powerful friend. It feels like the powerful friend is the universe, the divine, who has your back. And that's not to say there can't be actual, like, friends out there in the world that are looking out for you and helping you and protecting you, but this very much feels like a divine love and protection. It's like, no, no, no. You are one of mine. I've got you. It's going to be okay. You know, there's going to be peace and harmony. There's going to be love. There's going to be affection. There's going to be caring, reconciliation, freedom, peace, fun, compassion. It's going to be okay. You may need to shift your mindset. You may need to let go of things. You may need to allow. But once you do, once you tune into the divine, once you know your worth and you open up your heart and you free your soul, you're going to be able to flourish. All these blessings are going to come into you. There's going to be so much more peace and harmony and fun and laughter and love and just joy and gratitude. You'll have so many blessings. So know that it's all going to work out for you. I'm wishing you all a wonderful rest of your day. Please take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.